Hey y'all, my name is Shannon Ray. Do you ever get the urge to showcase one of your less developed talents? By no means is it not a potent talent, but it's just one that you use a little bit less. And I know what you're thinking, Shan, you're so talented. Which one could it be? Well, I would say singing. It's been a while since I sang y'all a little ditty, but I also was thinking about the rapping thing, right? It's been a while since I've let y'all hear, a few bars. I have been thinking about how I've been saying since last year that I really wanted to introduce a theme song. I need to get back on that. I haven't worked on that at all. Who knows why? So I need to do that, but I can't decide. Should I sing or should I rap? Or should I do both? I'm from the streets, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on the streets. I grew up adjacent to the streets. I grew up on a street, but regardless, okay, you can't judge my heart. I have this in me. So like if I were to sing a song, right, it would go a little bit like, she's doing God's work, God's plan. She's praying and slaying the internet, bringing positive words to you. Catch her every week on YouTube, yeah. Or I could do a rap. Okay, and it could be like, my name is Shannon and I'm the best. I'm here to drop this intro. So y'all be blessed. Every Monday I'm coming with new content for you. You can catch me every week on YouTube. Say, hey, Shannon Ray. You're welcome. The possibilities are endless. I'll probably do some sort of mashup of the two. Why leave out any of that talent? And I can dance in the back. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be great. I keep saying this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen before, 2023. My gift to you, the gift that keeps on giving. If you are new here, what's up? I offer you my sincere salutations. This channel, this community really is for people who have made mistakes while also being human, people who are trying to grow and learn, who are pursuing passion and not offering a single apology for it. If you're into that sort of thing, go ahead and join the tribe. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I did it again. It pours, okay, out of me. I didn't even think it through. The bars, they find me. And also subscribe to my mailing list at heyshannonray.com, where there will be blogs. You'll have links to these vlogs. You'll have all of these different things that I have coming up. So for today's video, I want to do something slightly different as opposed to what I normally share on this channel so far. I don't know why I always kind of come into these moments of hesitation when I sit down to record. I feel all big and bold in the world, and then I get in front of a camera in my house by myself in this room, and I'm like, oh, should I share that? Sure I should. I'm being authentic about what I think, and I don't know how else to be, so I'm just gonna go for it. One of the things about my personality that I don't always share, the way that I'm made up, is the connection that I feel to the spiritual world. And absolutely, I've talked plenty about my faith in God, my belief in Jesus. And to be clear, nothing about that has changed. Because I'm having such a strong feeling about what we have going on right now, I thought it might be a good opportunity to talk about where my mind is for this next season. I know you can feel it too. Things are shifting. Things are changing. There feels like this birth happening. If you think about it, it's like we've been laboring. 2020 came in and it changed everything. I don't know a single person, a place that hasn't been impacted or felt the effects of whatever it was that shifted us. It was so much more than a pandemic. There is something so tangible about what's happening that I think that we're all focusing on all the craziness that's happening in the world. And I'm not trying to discard that. I'm not trying to put my head in the sand. Things are really being shaken up. That's undeniable. But in the very same way, in the same breath, I can feel those same things happening for us spiritually. The way we look at church is different. The way we look at fellowship is different. It's like this veil is being pulled back. We have been laboring for years. The birth is about to occur. You can call it a fresh start, a do-over, mulligan, if you will. Whatever it is, We are stepping onto a new plane, which to me means a new opportunity to leave behind mediocrity, to leave behind self-doubt, imposter syndrome, all of the things that held us back from everything that we could be in the past. The world is ripe for us to do and be whatever it is that we want to be. How long are you going to allow what happened in the past hold you back? I saw this quote somewhere and I can't remember exactly where, but it said, you can't always add years to your life, but you can add life to your years. I am in full pursuit of living a life that I have no regrets, no I wish I would have, no I should have tried. God has given me such clear vision of where I'm going. I don't know each and every step, but I don't have to. What I'm going to do is fully commit to the process. And I'm encouraging you to do the same. How does one do that? How does one completely and totally change their life? How does one completely and totally change their experiences? I'm going to tell you what's been working for me, and I've seen tangible proof already. Understand, it doesn't mean that I wasn't in a good situation. It doesn't mean that I wasn't even grateful for what I had, because I was. But I wanted to leave nothing on the table. I want to leave this earth knowing that my full potential was reached. I want to leave this earth knowing that I have loved really, really well, that I've treated my family and my friends and my work and my community well. In order to start, I realized I was going to have to stop. Stop denying your identity. Stop shrinking, stop playing small, stop being humble to make other people feel better about what you are, who you are, how you show up. God has told you, but you haven't been comfortable enough. Stepping into it felt too big. Stepping into it felt like it would ruffle feathers. Ruffle of feathers, who cares? This is about your destiny. This is about kingdom work. We have things to do, and you can't move in any authenticity. You can't establish anything lasting if you are still denying who you are. I think about the Bible and use that as my guide for things. I think about what happens when people really step into their identity. I think about the story of Peter a lot. I don't know what it is about Peter. Peter and I aren't a lot alike according to the Bible, right? Peter was said to be impulsive. He cut off an ear. A little Mike Tyson-ish, if you ask me. He didn't, bite it, but he's a wild boy. The thing that I love so much about Peter is that even though he even ended up denying God, there was still grace over his life, and there was still an opportunity for him to turn his experiences and become something. Really quick, if you guys don't know the story of Peter, Peter was originally named Simon. Simon was a fisherman. Jesus found Simon and his brother Andrew one day. They're about to go prepare their nets for fishing. Jesus saw him, ran up on him. It was a good exchange. And Simon at the time decided that he would walk with Jesus. In the moment that Simon made the choice to follow Jesus, Jesus changed his name. Peter literally means rock. God said to him, I will build my church upon this rock. From the moment that we decide to accept Jesus, the moment that we decide to take that step, that single step in faith, we are given our true identities. Peter ended up being one of Jesus' closest confidants. It was Peter, James, and John. Peter, James, and John? Peter, James, and Paul. No. Peter, James, and John. Even after walking with Jesus that closely, even after being in his presence, when he was faced with death, when he was faced with fear, he denied Jesus not once, not twice, but 3 times. What happened after that? Peter felt the conviction, and Peter felt it so deeply. He understood the life of Jesus so deeply that he made the decision to spread his word and not look back. We have to do the same. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen. It doesn't matter how many times you've denied Jesus. Stop where you are, make the decision to live in your true identity, and walk. No, don't walk, run towards what you know is for you. Run towards who you know you are meant to be. It might not feel like you deny yourself. It might not feel like you deny Jesus, but every time you play small, every time we doubt, every time we count ourselves out, getting caught up in people pleasing, when we find ourselves finding the need to impact perceptions of us, there are ways that we show up in the minds of other people that have nothing to do with who we truly are. We are villains for some people. We are annoying to some people. There are people who hate your personality. There are people who think that you're fake. no matter how honest you're being, no matter how transparent you're being, no matter how sincere you're being, you're going to irritate somebody. Sometimes you being happy is an irritation. Sometimes you having peace is an irritation. Your job is not to make those people feel comfortable. Your job is to be true to who you are and allow your people to find you. As soon as you show up as who you are, the things that are meant for you will show up as well. Don't get caught up in proving intention. The only validation that you need is from God. Even as I began doing these videos, especially in the beginning of this year when I was sharing my divorce story, I was getting a lot of positive feedback, but it didn't mean that I wasn't getting negative feedback as well. Those comments are going to come. There are people who don't know you, who have now made thoughts and assumptions about who you truly are. No matter how much you've tried to be open about that, you can't stay there. It might be tempting, but you can't stay there because it is not for you to change their mind. It is for you to speak your truth. It is for you to listen to what God is asking you to share. And everything else, provision, friends, fellowship, community, love, family, all of that will follow when it is for you. Just be true to who you are. Stop denying. Stop playing small. The second thing I got very intentional about was taking authority over my experiences. I wanted to change or improve all of the bigger pieces of my life. That meant my finances, that meant my career, that meant my health, and that meant my relationships. So some of the ways that I thought about that was, how can I approach these things that are good and make them great? I thought about things like my job. My job was a source of many things. It's a place that brought me into creativity. It tapped into my desire to learn more about entrepreneurship. It was really a positive experience in the grand scheme of looking at things. It was my first time working directly with a Black woman as my boss. It was my first time having the experience of seeing someone advocate for me who did not look like me. It was knowing what the difference between mentorship and sponsorship was. What it ignited in me was wanting to first step into things that I'd never thought myself capable of. I am a natural leader, but I tend to fall back. I like to move at my own pace. I like to follow my own rhythm. And it was really important for me to be able to do that wherever I showed up. One of the things that I really focused in on was, what would it be like to be in a job where you could experience some entrepreneurship, where you could experience opportunities to be creative, and you could have your voice be heard without feeling like people were downplaying your intelligence, downplaying your experience, or not liking the way that you showed up simply because it wasn't the way that they expected. I've shared many times, I think on many different platforms, that I had a boss who I honestly think had good intentions, but there was something that she said to me when I was going out for a promotion that always stuck with me. What she said was, you don't come off as a pit bull. In order to be successful in this role, you have to be a pit bull. I don't know what it was about that always stuck with me from that moment on. I think it was a clear picture of how she perceived me. I think it was a clear picture of what my trajectory was going to be based off those perceptions. But it also was a bit of a challenge accepted, if you will, of the fact that I was never going to be a pit bull to be successful. I can be strategic. I am very smart. I'm incredibly thoughtful. I'm very creative, but that might not come in a pit bull package. And that is my authenticity. That makes me no less successful. That makes me no less capable. And I was so dedicated to remaining true to who I was that I then began to search for opportunities where I could do that. My goal was to be able to look around at my life and say that I chose it. In the same breath, I am working to change and improve upon my relationships, my experiences within those relationships. What are my expectations? What do I want from this person? What do I want to give to this person? Because it's not just about what I can receive. How can I show up better for this person? How can I make this a little bit more even? How can I feel less used? How can I feel less overlooked? How can I feel more connected? You have the power to change your experience. You can't change everything that happens in your life. There are some things that are always going to be out of our control, but we can change our experiences with them. We can impact how we feel about them. Lastly, and I think this point is super important for a lot of different reasons. Make plans, not announcements. What I have come to understand, and I'm fortunate, and I thank God for this. I'm in a place in space where I have the most incredible support system ever. However, that still doesn't mean that everything is meant for everyone. And that still doesn't mean that when you're making your plans, everybody needs to know about them. There are some things that are just between you and God. And until He tells you to reveal them, until He tells you to open yourself up to the opinions of others, then you need to protect your moves. I know for a fact what I'm going to do each month of this year. I know what my plans are for next year. I know what I want to have happen before I hit 40, but some of that I haven't shared at all. Some of that remains between me and God because it is up to God to show me those next steps. I don't want to be bogged down, or even if it's good intentions, led in the wrong direction or go off path because I was listening to somebody other than God. In the same token, I don't want to share prematurely and have people put in their doubts, have people put in their opinion, people stand in the way of what you know you heard and what you want to move on. If it's a desire for you, something as simple as I started roller skating again. I didn't ask anybody about that, but I did have people end up telling me like, girl, at your big age, are you still roller skating? I absolutely am. I just bought a bike, a hula hoop. I am still here. I am still living. There's not a timestamp on anything that I want to do with my life. There is not a limit on anything I plan to do with my life. And so I don't always share my plans, big or small. If you want to move, keep it to yourself until you actually make that move. Don't tell people where you're going until you go. Only those who need to know. I really do think that social media, and I'm part of it, right? Social media makes us think that every move that we make has to be shared. But what I really think it is that we're getting to the point where we believe that every move we make has to be co-signed. Everything has to be validated by the world. Why? This is your life. These are your choices. It doesn't matter what this person thinks about the things that bring you joy. It doesn't matter about what that person thinks about what God has led you to do. Make your plans, but leave the announcements until after. If you decided to move into a new job, let folks know after. If you decided to buy a home, let people know after. God will send you the resources you need. You're going to be okay. God will send you the support you need. You're going to be okay. But stop looking to the world to give you permission to live your life. Pray boldly, act consistently, and believe faithfully. I'm so excited about the girl that I am that I almost feel sorry for the people who are going to have to miss me. I almost feel sorry for the people who won't be a part of this. But in the same regard, there are people who have had to leave me behind. There are people who have moved on and changed their life without me in mind. So focus in on what God says about you, focus in on who you are, and live your life bigger, more fully, more intentionally than you ever thought possible. The shift is here. And the time is now. How my girl say it, my cousin? It's me season.
Wow. I don't know what to say. It's feeling like me season right now.
It really is. It really is. And it's not just us. It is happening physically and spiritually. God is telling us to show up so He can too. All right, y'all. That's it for me. I will be here with you next week with a brand new video. I look forward to the opportunity to talk with you. Again, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy my content, definitely hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment, even if we don't agree. I love to hear from you. You can shoot me a DM. Be sure to join my mailing list at HeyShannonRae.com. There are things happening. There are things coming up. This is our time, y'all. This is our season. Love y'all. Bye.